Let me be honest with you right now. What I'm about to share with you could be the most important financial conversation you have this entire year. Not because it's complicated, not because it requires a finance degree, but because it's happening to you right now and most people have no idea it's even occurring. There is a habit, a quiet one, a sneaky one that feels completely normal, completely harmless, and even rewarding in the moment. And it is slowly, methodically, and silently stealing from your future, every single month, without you even noticing. We need to talk about credit cards, not in the way your parents warned you, not in the way your bank explains it in tiny print, in a real, honest, human way. Because you deserve that, so let's start here. You know that feeling when you swipe a card and walk out of a store with something you wanted? There's almost a little rush to it, right? That small dopamine hit, that feeling of I got it, I handled it, it's done. And it feels good, it feels like control. But here's the painful truth that the credit card companies absolutely count on you never fully realizing. That feeling is not control. That feeling is the beginning of a trap that has been designed by billion-dollar companies with entire teams of behavioral psychologists whose one job is to make sure you never stop swiping. And here is something that the average person watching this right now probably does not fully realize. The average American household carries over $10,000 in credit card debt. $10,000. And the average interest rate on credit cards in the United States is now above 20%. That means for every $10,000 you carry on a credit card, you are handing over $2,000 a year to a bank, just in interest. Just for the privilege of having spent money you didn't quite have yet. Now before you click away thinking this isn't you, stay with me for just a second. Because this is not about whether you're bad with money. This is not about whether you're irresponsible. This is about something far more subtle, far more psychological, and far more widespread than people admit. People with good jobs. People with families they love. People who are smart, capable, hardworking individuals are trapped in this cycle. Not because they're foolish, because the system was built to trap them. And if any part of you has ever felt that quiet, nagging, low-level financial anxiety, that feeling in the back of your mind when you check your bank account, that slight tension when a bill comes in, that sense that you're working really hard but somehow not getting ahead, then what I'm sharing today is for you specifically. Now listen, we do have a program linked in the description below. If you are watching this and you already feel that pull in your gut, that sense of recognition that this is exactly what I need to work on, go check it out now before you convince yourself to wait. Because the people who wait are the ones who come back 6 months from now saying, I wish I had started sooner. Don't be that person. The link is there. The information is there. But keep watching because what I'm about to share is going to completely change the way you see this. Here's where it gets real. Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table on a Sunday evening. The week ahead feels heavy. You're tired from the week behind. And you open your banking app just to check in. And what you see isn't a crisis. It's just not where you hoped it would be. You see the credit card balance that you paid down last month has crept back up. You're not sure exactly when it happened. Maybe it was the groceries. Maybe it was the car thing. Maybe it was just a few nights of takeout when you were exhausted and had nothing left to give. And you sit there with this quiet, hollow feeling in your chest. Not panic. Just this slow, heavy realization that you've been here before. And somehow you're here again. That right there, that moment. That is the habit quietly draining your future. And it doesn't announce itself, it doesn't show up dramatically, it just shows up again and again and again. And the compounding effect of that cycle over months and years is devastating. Let's break this down in simple, clear numbers, because this is where it gets genuinely eye-opening. Say you carry a $5,000 balance on a credit card with a 22% interest rate. If you only make the minimum payment each month, which by the way is exactly what the credit card company hopes you'll do, it will take you over 15 years to pay that off. And you will have paid more than $5,000 in interest alone. You paid for that $5,000 purchase twice. More than twice, and most of the time you won't even remember what you bought. This is the cost of inaction. This is the cost of ignoring it. This is the compounding weight of the habit. And here is what makes it even more painful. That same money, that extra $5,000 plus, invested over 15 years, even at modest returns, could have grown into something that actually changed your life. Could have been part of a down payment. Could have been the start of an emergency fund that means you never have to swipe a credit card in a panic again. Could have been freedom. And this is not something only a certain type of person experiences. Financial educators, behavioral economists, debt counselors, and money coaches across the board all point to the same pattern. The minimum payment trap is one of the most destructive financial behaviors in existence. Not because people are careless, but because it feels manageable in the moment. It feels like you're handling it, you're making the payment, you're not ignoring it. But manageable in the short term and devastating in the long term is one of the oldest financial traps in human history. Here's the pattern interrupt no one talks about. The credit card habit doesn't just drain your bank account, it drains your mental energy. It drains your relationship. It drains your confidence. Because when you carry financial stress, even silently, even without ever saying a word to anyone, it sits in the background of everything you do. It makes you a little less present at dinner, a little more tense when money comes up in conversation, a little less likely to take risks in life and career and love, because somewhere deep down you feel financially fragile. And financially fragile people don't make bold moves. And bold moves are the ones that change lives. Now here is where I want to shift, because I need you to really sit with this next part. What would it actually feel like to not have credit card debt? Not theoretically, physically, emotionally. What would it feel like to open your banking app and see a balance going in the right direction? What would it feel like to know that the money you're earning is actually building something? What would it feel like to go to sleep on a Sunday night without that low-level financial hum in the back of your mind? People who have gone through this transformation describe it in ways that go far beyond finances. They talk about breathing differently. They talk about being more present with their kids. They talk about laughing more freely, arguing less with their partner, feeling proud of themselves again. That is not hyperbole. That is the real cost of this habit and the real reward of changing it. And here is something that separates the people who change this from the people who stay stuck. It is not intelligence. It is not income level. It is not luck. The people who break out of this cycle are the ones who stop treating this as a willpower problem and start treating it as a system problem. They stop trying to just try harder and start building actual structures, actual strategies, actual habits that work with how the brain works rather than against it. The research on this is overwhelming and consistent. Behavioral finance experts have shown repeatedly that people who approach debt elimination with structured frameworks, clear accountability, and behavioral strategies, not just budgets, not just spreadsheets, but real psychological tools, are dramatically more successful, not marginally, dramatically. And the time savings alone are staggering. The difference between someone fumbling through this alone versus someone with a clear, proven system can literally be the difference between years of struggle and months of actual progress. But here is the disqualifier. If you are someone who genuinely loves where your finances are heading, if you feel zero stress around money, if the credit card habit doesn't resonate with you at all, then this truly is not for you. Keep doing what you're doing. This is specifically for the person who feels that recognition, that quiet nod, that moment of, yes, this is me. And if that is you, then I need to ask you a very direct question. How much longer are you willing to let this run in the background? Because every month that passes is not neutral. Every month that passes is compounding, not in your favor. The interest keeps accruing. The momentum keeps pointing in the wrong direction, and the version of your life that is free from this, that exists, it just requires a decision. That decision is not about perfection. It's not about suddenly becoming a financial expert. It's about choosing to take this seriously and giving yourself the right support and structure to actually see it through. The program linked in the description below exists for exactly this reason, for the person watching this right now who is done with the cycle, who is tired of the Sunday night dread, who wants real, practical, structured support that actually gets results. Not someday, now. Because the people who wait or the people who watch this video feel everything I just described, and then close the tab and go back to the minimum payment, and a year from now they will still be here. Still feeling this. Still waiting for the right moment. The right moment is this moment. The link is in the description. Go.